Hey guys, what is happening? My name's Simon and this is the qualification for Bahrain, the race that is going to be on YouTube tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoy this qualification. It's 2 laps of the circuit and see what happens at the end. So what I'm going to quickly talk to you about today is Robert Kubica's crash. This is kind of old news, but I've not put a video up about it, and it seems relatively important that I did, so I thought I would. He done his the testing session in Valencia, and I had a pretty good testing session, and then he well, I found out about it on Twitter, and some sort of news report was coming out that Robert Kubica had a crash. I thought, oh, he had a crash in Valencia or something like that, but no, he actually went and done some rally championship, and he crashed into the side of a church, which is kind of funny because can really only go 2 ways. Whether you know, God really wanted him to survive after crashing into such a figment of that religion, and whether or not he was like, hey man, what the fuck are you doing crashing into my fucking church? That's it, man. You're not gonna, you're coming with me. Or he was like, oh okay, he's crashed into my church, I'll give him one last chance, and I only give him a broken leg and broken arm. But yeah, he only sustains a broken leg and broken arm, and I say only. There was reports saying that he didn't actually, he wasn't sure whether or not he was going to have it amputated, and which would have been fucking awful for a racing driver to have a limb amputated. Not that I'm saying it can't be done, it probably can be done, just perhaps not at the level of F1. But yeah, it was quite odd to hear about it, and thinking that you'd have to have your arm amputated or your leg amputated in a sport that Robert does is kind of a bit scary. So I think the recovery time is going to be something like 12 months, and it's kind of a shame because he did actually have quite a good testing session in Valencia, and I know testing sessions you can't read too much into, but you know, you never know. I personally think that Robert Kubica is one of the best racing drivers in F1. I think he just needs a good team behind him, and I think his aggressiveness. I think he's a very aggressive driver, and he's very good at that. But sometimes it sort of lets him down. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, so it was quite odd hearing about that story, thinking that he's not going to be in F1 this year. It's quite sad, but I'm sure in 12 months' time it will probably fly by, and hopefully his physiotherapy will go well and he'll be back in the sport. There are reports that he'll probably never be back in the sport, but you never know, especially with things like this. Footballers sustain broken legs all the time, but there is recovery time, and there is physiotherapy that gets you through it, gets you back on it. So it's something that we can only look to the future for. But the reason I showed you these 2 laps was because I had a good first lap, or third lap, however you think about it, and then I went and done a faster lap than the time after, so I thought I'd put both laps in. It's kind of annoying because you'll find out tomorrow that I'm actually in position 11, but that's because of a penalty. Anyway guys, I spoke to you